like planning your attacks ahead of time, grabbing them, and then just going.
Yeah, this one is a lot more run and gun sort of stuff where you're moving around constantly. You don't have the heavier armor that the Stalker or Warrior would have, or Engineer, I should say.
Yeah, you were definitely a much squishier class.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people at New York Comic Con and at the shows jumping onto a Spell Slinger and just immediately grabbing 4 guys and dying. Because, I mean, it's tough to play the higher level characters without knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But so one of the things that you didn't see with the lower level character, but you'll definitely see here, is the limited action set. And what that is, for those who aren't aware, is that bar at the bottom of the screen with all your abilities. You get 1 ability bar, and it's 8 abilities, and that's it. Those abilities can be swapped out at any time out of combat. You can change them up. You can kind of pick the style that you want to have. So, for example, for a Spell Slinger, you could put all abilities on your bar that are much closer range, that are more mobile, or you could pick all these really long-range abilities that are focused on keeping the enemies at range and attacking them. And so you can build it really the way you want, and you can change that up whenever you feel like it, too. And in addition to that, every class can fulfill 2 roles of the Holy Trinity, as they say.
Indeed.
So the Spell Slinger, for example, can be a DPS class or a healer, and you can change that up whenever you feel like it. You know, you might even mix and match your abilities, put a heal on your bar just as kind of an emergency. I think you already have one, right? Your 7 ability, will heal you on the spot.
So I just did my gate ability there, which is an interrupt as well as a get the hell out of dodge sort of attack.
And the gate is a very disorienting ability for the player the first couple times you're using it. I have a feeling anyone watching the stream, you're like, what just happened?
Right.
So you're actually teleporting ahead, I think it's like 20, 25 yards, and stunning anything in your path when you do that. And so you get your enemies lined up, you teleport straight through them, and then spin around, and everybody's just stunned. Really useful in PvP, really annoying in PvP on the other side.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great escape ability.
But it's a huge escape ability. And the cool thing is we most, over the last couple of months, one of the big things that we had worked on from some of the first stages of beta to the later ones was making all of these abilities, taking them off targeted abilities. Like a couple of these in the early stages were like, you had to target an enemy and say, I want to leap towards this enemy.
Sure.
And now they're all off of that. So now they all have telegraphs. You can, if you want to leap as a warrior, gate as a spell slinger, you just aim in the direction you want to go and just do it. And it'll, anyone it hits will have an effect on. So the spell slinger, like you saw, will stun anyone in the path. The warrior, if they're leaping, if anyone's in the way, it'll stop on that enemy and knock them down. So they're both able, you can use them offensively, but also defensively. So you can use them to run away if you need to also, because you don't have to have a target for any of those attacks.
Most definitely. And so you'll notice too that trying to use as much of this stuff as possible. I have an Assassinate ability. Oh, gotta get over that. There's an Assassinate ability which allows me to just kind of finish off these lower health guys really quickly. And that actually only works when they have lower amounts of health, as opposed to, you know, just boom. So we'll CC him real quick, just like that. So you'll also notice too that there are these characters that have these little, we call them squirgs, but squirgs are like these little octopus guys that attach to your head and start messing with your brainwaves and take over you and have these little zombie kind of effect on you where you just have no control over yourself and turn into this mind-eating weird thing. So
well, there's actually a good chance to talk about breakout gameplay too.
Definitely.
As soon as you grab one of those guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil what's going to happen.
Sure.
But
let's grab one real quick. So one of these guys I'm supposed to bring